Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to Unacademy. In this session, we are going to discuss the quant section of CAT 2017 slot 1. So we have discussed half of the part in the previous class. Now we are going to discuss rest of the questions in this particular session. I am Ajasreen, a BTech in Electronics and Instrumentation. I am a 100 percentiler in Quant and DI section 2014. Got 99.99 in 15, 99.98 in 16, and 99.97 in 2020. These are our official Telegram channels. I request each and every student to join them so that we can communicate about all our classes that are being conducted either on YouTube or as a special class to you. Plus subscription is available for a period of 6, 18, and 24 months. So you won't be getting anything free right now. So the total fee will be 16,400, 28,550 and 32,800. You just need to use my code now to avail 10% off on Unacademy Plus subscription. Iconic subscription for all MBA aspirants is for a period of again 6, 12 and 24 months, which will cost you 25,800, 39,500 and 59,999. On using my code, you will again get 10% off on the total fee, which is Serene 10. So Iconic subscription has all the benefits of Plus. Along with it, you will be getting one-to-one live doubt solving by experts, one-to-one live concept discussion with experts, one-to-one live mentorship by top B school grads, and you can book slot as per your convenience. So let's get started with quant section part 2 of CAT 2017 slot 1. Here it says a solid metallic cube is melted to form 5 solid cubes whose volumes are in the ratio 1 is to 1 is to 8 is to 27 is to 27. The percentage by which the sum of the surface areas of these 5 cubes exceed the surface area of the original cube is nearest to. As we are given the ratio between volume of cube, which we all know is a cube, right? And we are required a ratio between sum of surface areas, which means surface area of a cube is 6a square, right? So in order to do this calculation, can I say I must take cube root first, which will give me a ratio between the sides of the cubes. And on squaring it, I will be getting ratio between the areas of given cubes. So we are required surface area of these 5 cubes. So you just need to add all the 5 values. So 9 plus 9, 18, 19, 20 plus 4 adds up to 24, exceeds the surface area of the original cube is nearest to. So can I say that when it comes to calculating surface area of original cube, right, we just need to focus on the total volume of the original cube, which adds up to 27 plus 27, 54 plus 10, 64. If you take square root of cube root of 64, it will give you side of the cube, and on squaring it, it gives you surface area of the cube, right? So question says by what percentage 24 is more than 16? So required difference is 8 divided by 16 is half, which is equivalent to 50%. So please everyone check it out. If any student has a doubt, do let me know. I will answer all the queries of this particular session in the Telegram group. In second question, it says a ball of diameter 4 centimeter is kept on the top of a hollow cylinder standing vertically. The height of the cylinder is 3 centimeter while its volume is 9 pi. Then the vertical distance in centimeter of the topmost point of the ball from the base of the cylinder is. So in this case, we just need to understand how the ball is kept on the cylinder, right? So if you keep ball on the cylinder, it will look like this, right? So the diameter of ball is given to you as 4 centimeter. Height of the cylinder given to you is 3 centimeter, and its volume is 9 pi, right? Then we need to calculate the vertical distance of the topmost point from the base of the cylinder. So this is what we are supposed to calculate in this particular case. So in this case, as we all know, height of the cylinder is 3. So this much of length given to me is 3. Then along with it, he says volume is 9 pi. So if volume is 9 pi, we all know volume of a cylinder is pi r square h, where r is unknown right now, and h given to you is 3. So 3 times 3 is 9, and pi get cancelled out, so r square comes out to be 3, or r will be equivalent to root 3. So a radius of the cylinder is root 3, and radius of the ball is 2, which is more than root 3. So it gives us a very clear-cut picture about that this is how the ball is placed on the top of cylinder, right? Now we just need to do a very small calculation of calculating this value, that how above this point is from the top of the cylinder. This is nothing but radius of the ball, which is 2. This is radius of the cylinder, which is root 3. It will enable me to calculate this much of value, which is 4 minus 3, 1 square root, which comes out to be 1. This value is 2, and this total is 3, which gives me height of the topmost point of the ball from the base of the cylinder comes out to be 2 plus 1 plus 3, which is equivalent to 6 centimeter. So guys, please check it out. I hope it is clear to each and every student. If any student has a doubt in this, do let me know in the Telegram group. Here he says, let ABC be a right angle triangle with BC as the hypotenuse. Length AB and AC are 15 kilometer and 20 kilometer. So there is a right angle triangle with BC as hypotenuse. So AB is 15 and AC is 20. The minimum possible time in minutes required to reach the hypotenuse from A at a speed of 30 km per hour. When you want to minimize the time taken by anyone to travel from A to BC, the distance covered will be minimum when it is perpendicular on BC. So here we are required to calculate the length AD. Speed is given to me. With the two pieces of informations, we can easily calculate the time taken. In order to do so, we just need to use a triplet of 3, 4 and 5, which gives us third side will be 25, and AD is nothing but product of the two sides 20 and 15 divided by hypotenuse, which comes out to be 12 units. So a distance of 12 kilometer is covered at a speed of 30 kilometer per hour. So time taken will be distance upon speed. So this value is in hours, multiply with 60, gets converted to minutes, which is equivalent to 24 minutes. So please check it out. I hope it's a very, very, very easy calculation and is clear to each and every student, right? Okay, so here he says, suppose x to the base 3 equal y to the base 12 equal a, where x and y are positive numbers. If g is the geometric mean of x and y, and log g to the base 6 is equal to. As we all know that geometric mean is nothing but square root of the product of two values. So effectively g given to you is x into y raised to power 1 by 2. So we need to calculate the value of x and y in terms of a. So if log x to the base 3 equals a, on taking anti-log, x comes out to be 3 raised to power a. And when you equate these two and take anti-log, y comes out to be 12 raised to power a. So product of x and y comes out to be 12 into 3, 36 raised to power a. And when you take square root on both sides, it is nothing but 6 raised to power a. So substitute this value here. Log 6 to the power a to the base 6 is equivalent to a times log 6 to the base 6, which is 1. So answer comes out to be a itself, which is in option D. In this question, we are given x plus 1 equal x square and x is greater than 0. And we need to compute the value of 2 times x raised to power 4. So in order to do it, if I bring x and 1 on the other side, so this is the quadratic equation given to me, and it can be solved with the help of formula. Minus b will be 1 plus minus under the root of b square, which is 1, minus 4ac, which is plus 4 divided by 2. As it is given to me x is greater than 0, you just need to consider positive value, which is 1 plus root 5 divided by 2. As we are required to compute x raised to power 4, just square both sides. It gives you x plus 1 whole square equal x raised to power 4, and it can be broken down as x square plus 2x plus 1 equal x raised to power 4. And it is already given to me that x square is equivalent to x plus 1. Again, replace x square with x plus 1. That will make our calculation very easy, which enables us to calculate the value of x raised to power 4, because we have already calculated the value of x. It is 3x plus 2. Substitute the value of x here, which is 1 plus root 5 by 2. On taking LCM of 2, it becomes 3 plus 3 root 5 plus 4 divided by 2, which is equivalent to 4 plus 3 will be 7. And it is 3 root 5. Just cross multiply with 2, so it becomes 2 times x raised to power 4. And this was the value we were supposed to calculate. So the correct answer option comes out to be D. Here he says the value of log root 5 to the base 0.008 plus log 83 to the base root 3 minus 7 is equivalent to. If we want to get rid of log in any of the case, then we have to make these two values equal. So as I can see, it is 5, so I have to convert it to a power of 5. So this is equivalent to 1 upon 125, which is 5 raised to power minus 3. And you can easily observe 81 is nothing but 3 raised to power 4. So just write down these values here. So it becomes log of 5 raised to power 1 by 2 to the base 5 raised to power minus 3 plus log of 3 raised to power 4 to the base 3 raised to power 1 by 2 minus 7 is to be simplified. And in any case, if we have log a raised to power b to the base c raised to power d, then the power of a will come in the numerator, power of base will come in the denominator, and can be written like this. So I'm going to use the very same concept here. So 1 by 2 come outside, and the power of base will also come outside in the denominator now, and log 5 to the base 5 is 1. Plus it will be 4 will come in the numerator, 1 by 2 in the denominator, minus 7. So 2 goes to the numerator, gets multiplied with 4, makes it 8. 8 minus 7 is 1, and this is minus 1 by 6. So 1 minus 1 by 6, answer comes out to be 5 by 6. So the correct answer option is C. In this question, he says find the value of x. So now there are multiple ways of doing it. One of the easiest way of solving this particular question will be that you can always take help of the answer options, right? So that will make our calculation easier if the numbers are not too large, right? So if I take up these values, so the first option is 3. So when you put 3 here, it will be 2 into 3, 6. 6 minus 1 is 5. So that will be 9 raised to power 5, which is 59049. And here it will be 81 raised to power 3 minus 1 is 2, and 81 square is 6561. So just by looking at it, we can say that this can't be our answer now, because the difference of the two values is going to be a very large number, right? So leave it and move on to next answer option, which is 9 by 4. So if we consider 9 by 4 here, so 2 into 9 by 4 comes out to be like you can write 9 as 3 square as well simultaneously. That will make calculation even easier. So that will be then 4 into 9 by 4, which is 9. And because here it is now multiplied with 2, so 9 minus 2 is 7. So 3 raised to power 7 will be here. Likewise, it can be written as 3 raised to power 4x, right? So when x is 9 by 4, you will be left with 3 raised to power 9 only and minus 4. So 9 minus 4 in this case comes out to be 5. So now we need to calculate these values. So 3 raised to power 6 we all know is 729. When you multiply it with 3 further, it comes out to be 2187. And 3 raised to power 5 we all know is 243. And when you subtract them, their difference comes out to be 1944. So this is one way of looking at it. So which gives us the correct answer option is 9 by 4. You could also have managed to frame equations in this case by taking certain value common out of the two, right? So then we still need to convert both the numbers to the power of 9. So it can be written as 9 raised to power 2x minus 2 equal 1944. If I observe right hand side, it is nothing but a multiple of 9. Right, so we can divide by 9 both sides by taking out certain values common, or we may cancel out with some other value. So to make it easier, we can take 9 raised to power 2x minus 2 common. So here I will be left with 9 and here minus 1, which is 1944. So 9 minus 1 is 8. 8 for very sure will get cancelled out. Let's see what do we get. So it is 8 to the 16, leftover is 34. 8 4s are 32, leftover is 24, 8 3s are 24, and 243 we all know is 3 raised to power 5. It can further be split as 3 raised to power 4x minus 4, and base is same, power shall be equal. Now you can write 4x minus 4 is 5, x comes out to be 9 by 4. So again your answer comes out to be B. If you work with answer option and do the calculations orally, then in that case we can observe that it is quite easy to figure out the answer, right? So ज़्यादा लिखना भी नहीं पड़ेगा. Here he says the number of solutions of x, y, z to the equation where x, y, z are positive integers such that x is less than equal to 40, y is less than equal to 12, and z is also less than equal to 12. So if I take y and z on the other side, we can observe x is equivalent to y plus z plus 25. If x, y, z are positive integers, can I say the minimum value that they can hold will be 1 and 1? Right, so that gives us a very clear-cut picture about the values of x. Can I say the minimum value of x will be 27? So guys, please check it out. This is very critical and important information. If you can understand this, then we can solve entire question very easily. Making cases won't be a difficult task, right? So किसी एक का range का clarity होना चाहिए था क्या होगा. And we all know for y and z, now they will be greater than equal to 1 and will be less than equal to 12. So it's better to start assuming the values of x for studying cases. So y plus z will be equivalent to x minus 25 now, right? So the least value of x is 27. It can be 28, it can be 29, and will go up to 40. So we need to observe how many solutions are possible in each case. So when you take x as 27, y plus z will be equivalent to 2, right? So the number of natural number solutions when ax plus by equal to c, आपके पास equation है, right? And a and b are factors of c. Then positive integral solutions will be c divided by LCM of a and b minus 1. The moment you see that a and b are 1 and 1, so LCM of a and b will be 1, so your total number of solutions will be straightways c minus 1. That makes our job very easy and quick, right? So when you take x as 27, 27 minus 25 is 2. So number of solutions will be only 1. 28 minus 25 is 3. 3 minus 1 is 2 solutions. 29 minus 25 is 24. So, is 4. So we can say 3 solutions are there. Likewise, when it is 37, 37 minus 25 will be 12, right? So यहाँ पर अब मेरे को ध्यान रखना है y and z का value is less than equal to 12. So when x is 37, y plus z comes out to be 12. So right now there is no restriction on the condition, right? So it is taken care of. We can say straightways total number of solutions will be 11. When you take x as 38, y plus z comes out to be 13. So if it is 1, that is 12, still all the cases will come in. But the moment you come across 39 and 40, now you will not be getting all the solutions. Because when y plus z is 14, your case of 1 comma 13 will not be counted. Right? It cannot be 113, it cannot be 13 comma 1 as well. तो आपके इफेक्टिवली 2 केस हट गए. टोटल केस कितने बनने थे? टोटल केस कहना ही से 14 माइनस 1 13 बनने थे. बट 13 में से 2 केस आपके इन कंडीशंस को वायलेट कर रहे हैं. तो इफेक्टिवली कितने केसेस बने? 11. लाइकवाइज अगर आप नेक्स्ट केस ऑब्जर्व करोगे तो आपके टोटल केसेस बनने थे 14. बट 114, 213, 13 2, 14 1, ये 4 केस नहीं बन पाएंगे बिकॉज दे विल वायोलेट दीज कंडीशंस. y and z go out of the range, which means यहाँ पर total solutions will be 10. Now you can clearly see that the pattern gives me 1 to 12 का sum, which is 12 into 13 by 2 plus 11 plus 10, which is 21. 2 get cancelled out here. 6 into 13 is 78 plus 21. Sum comes out to be 99. So the correct answer option will be B. So please check it out. I hope it is clear to each and every student. But still, if any student has a doubt, do ask me your queries on my Telegram channel. So here it says, for how many integers n will the inequality be satisfied? So whenever you come across such an inequality, the very first thing will be to simplify it, because right now it is in multiple parts. So let's open the bracket here. It gives you n square minus 15n plus 50 minus 3n plus 6 less than equal to 0. So n square minus sum of these two will be 18n and sum of these two will be 56 less than equal to 0. Now we just need to divide the middle term in two parts, which we can write it as minus 4n minus 14n, because 14 into 4 is 56. So can be written as n minus 4 into n minus 14 is less than equal to 0, which gives us the range of n as 4 to 14. So n can take any integral value from 4 to 14. So number of solutions will be last term minus first term plus 1, which comes out to be a total of 11 solutions. So 11 will be the answer in this particular case. Here it says f1x equal x square plus 11x plus n, and f2x is given to me as x only. He says find the largest possible positive integer n for which these two equations has two distinct real roots. So we just need to equate these two first of all, which gives you x square plus 11x plus n equal x, or x square plus 10x plus n equals 0. Now, if you want two distinct real roots, we just need to focus on one part, that for what value of n this will become a perfect square. So ये perfect square तब बनेगा when the value of n is equivalent to square of half the coefficient of x. So 10 का half is 5, 5 square is 25. When n is 25, in that case it will be a perfect square. तो आपको सिर्फ और सिर्फ एक ही solution मिलेगा. और अगर n का value 25 से बड़ा हो गया तो you will be getting complex roots. So what does it mean? It means that the value of n should be less than 25 तो 25 से छोटा सबसे बड़ा पॉजिटिव इंटीजर कौन सा है? 24, which is the required answer in this case. So this is a very 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 important concept जो मैंने अभी यहाँ पर डिस्कस किया है. Please keep that in mind to make your calculation very easy and quick in this case. So आपको डिस्क्रिमिनेंट ग्रेटर देन इक्वल टू 0 करके पूरा इक्वेशन सिंप्लीफाई करने का कोई भी नीड नहीं था. Okay, here it says if a, b, c and d are integers such that a plus b plus c plus d is 30, then find the minimum possible value of these squares. So if a, b, c, d are integers and you want to minimize the sum, right? Because all are perfect squares, तो आपका वैल्यू कोई भी नेगेटिव तो हो ही नहीं सकता. आप ए बी सी डी को पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव कुछ भी ले सकते हो, बट आपका जो वैल्यू बनेगा ए माइनस बी, ए माइनस सी, ए माइनस डी, दैट शुड बी न्यूमेरिकली एज स्मॉलर एज पॉसिबल. So can I say that is effectively possible when A is very very close to B as well as C as well as D, because all the differences are with A only. All A, B, C, D should be very closer. So in order to do that, just divide 30 by 4 and see what value you come across. So that comes out to be 7.5. So your division should be somewhere around 7.5. So you can consider two values like 8, 8 and two like 7 and 7. In this case, all values are as close as possible. So A minus B will be 0, A minus C is 1 and A minus D is 1, and their squares are also going to be the same. So the minimum possible value in this case comes out to be 2. Here it says let A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H and J, K be 5 diameters of a circle with center at O. In how many ways can 3 points be chosen out of A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, J, K and O as well, which is center of the circle, so as to form a triangle? अगर मैं जो सर्कल के ऊपर ये 10 पॉइंट्स हैं इन्हें यूज करके ट्रायंगल बनाना चाहता हूं, तो ये तो हम सबको पता है, इट कैन बी डन इन 10c3 ways, which is 10 into 9 into 8 upon 3 to 1. 8 into 9 is 72, gets cancelled out with 6 by 12, so comes out to be 120 triangles will be possible. But when you consider center of the circle to be one of the vertex of the triangle, so if you consider one of the point A, then you will not consider point B, because if you consider A and B along with O, it will just be a straight line and not a triangle, right? So we just need to select 3 points. If one of the point is O, other point is A, can I say third point can be chosen in a total of 8 ways, right? So instead of A, I can have B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J or K, right? Which gives me a total of 10 values are possible at this position. 8 values will be corresponding to each position, which gives us a total of 80 values. Is it done? But in this case, we just need to keep in mind when you considered A here and all other points, right? And when you are considering C here and all other points, again A is coming over there, right? So when you consider A and C over there, C here and A over there, all the points are counted twice, so just divided by 2 so that there is no multiple count. So required answer will be sum of these two, which comes out to be a total of 160 triangles are possible. Here he says the shortest distance between the point 1 by 2 comma 1 from the curve x minus 1 mod plus x plus 1 mod is. So it's a very easy question again. You just need to plot the graph of mod x minus 1 plus mod x plus 1. So we know that the turning points in this case are plus 1 and minus 1. So when you take x as minus 1, the value of y comes out to be 2. And when you take x as 1, the value of y again comes out to be 2. So its graphical representation will be something like this. Now there is a point 1 by 2 comma 1. So 1 by 2 comma 1 is a point here. And question is asking the shortest distance of this point from this curve will be this line segment. And we can easily see this is 1, this is 2. So this distance is nothing but equivalent to 1 only. So if you are good at plotting the graph, it just can be done within a minute's time frame. Here it says if the square of the 7th term of an AP with positive common difference equals to product of 3rd and 17th term, then the ratio of the first term to the common difference is. So square of 7th term of an AP is equivalent to product of 3rd and 17th term. So here I can say it is a plus 6d whole square is equivalent to a plus 2d into a plus 16d. And question says what is the ratio of first term to the common difference? Guys, can I say I just need to open the brackets here. It is a square plus 36d square plus 12ad equals a square plus 16ad plus 2ad adds up to 18ad plus 32d square. So the moment you cancel out a square, right, 36 minus 32 is 4d square and difference of these two is 6ad. It's d, not b. And d get cancelled out and 2 2s are 4, 2 3s are 6 get cancelled out, gives me a upon d as 2 by 3. So the correct answer option comes out to be a by 2. This question was very critical because 2 is to 3 and 3 is to 2 both are given to you in the answer options. So as I always suggest that never do a mistake in writing final value once you are done with calculation up to this step. Because many students do mistake in the last step only when they take a is to d as 3 is to 2 and then their answer goes wrong, right? Okay, here it says in how many ways can 7 identical erasers be distributed among 4 kids in such a way that each kid gets at least 1 eraser but nobody gets more than 3 erasers. So 7 eraser हमें distribute करनी है 4 kids में और हमें दे रखा है सभी को एटलीस्ट एक इरेजर मिले. तो ऐसे केस में हम क्या करेंगे? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी विल गिव 1 इरेजर टू ईच एंड एवरी किड. Now we are left with only 3 erasers which are to be distributed among these 4 kids. So we can do it orally, like it can be in this particular order 1 1 1 0 or it can be 2 1 0 0, right? Now which will go to which one, that is the only thing we need to keep in mind and will give me all possible combinations. So if 1 1 1 and 0 is to be distributed, can I say out of 4 kids we can select any 3 kids and those 3 kids will be given 1 1 1 eraser. So 4c3 gives me a total of 4 ways of distributing these 3 leftover erasers among these 4. Now if you want to distribute 2 1 0 0, right, now this 2 can go to any of the 4. So there are 4 possibilities for 2 and this 1 will go to any of the leftover 3 students, right? So there are going to be a total of 4 into 3, 12 ways of distributing 3 erasers when it is done in this particular pattern. So just add these two values, total number of ways comes out to be 16. So fx and gx are given to me in this question and he says what is the value of g of f of f3. So we always start solving these kind of questions from the innermost bracket. So let's calculate the value of f3. So that comes out to be 5 into 3 15 plus 2 17 upon 3 into 3 9 minus 5 is 4. So again it becomes g of f of 17 by 4 now. Again, in order to solve it, put x equal to 17 by 4 here. So it becomes 5 into 17, which is 85 by 4 plus 2, right? So try to do this calculation orally, will make our job easier. क्योंकि 4 तो ऊपर नीचे cancel हो ही जाएगा. तो I just need to write the sum in this case, right? So can I say in this case it will be 5 into 17, 85 plus 8. which adds up to 93. And the denominator will be 17 by 4 into 3 minus 5. 3 into 17 is 51 and 4 into 5 is 30. 51 minus 20 comes out to be 31. And this value get cancelled out here by 3. So the value comes out to be 3. Now we only need to calculate G3. So put x equal to 3 in this case. So that will be 3 square 9 minus 6 minus 1. So 9 minus 7, answer comes out to be 2, which is answer option A. So here we are given A1, A2, so on up to A3n be an AP with A1 equal to 3, A2 equals 7, and sum of A1, A2, so on up to A3n equal 1830. Then what is the smallest positive integer m such that m into this is greater than 1830? So if it is an AP and first term is 3, second term is 7, can I say the common difference of this AP is 4? So A1 से लेके A3n तक total number of terms are 3n divided by, so I'm using standard formula of sum of AP, which is n by 2 into 2a, first term is 3, plus n minus 1 into d is equivalent to 1830. So we can easily cancel out this 3 here. 3 6 are 18, 3 1s are 3, 0. And this 2 gets cancelled out here. 2 3s are 6 and 2 2s are 4. Let's simplify. It becomes n into 3 plus 6n minus 2 equals 610. And it gives me 6n square. 3 minus 2 is 1, which gives us plus n minus 610 is equivalent to 0. Now we have to solve it for the middle term, right? And you can see solving this at this step is not going to be that easy if you cannot see how to break the middle term, right? So 6 into 610, I'm just writing in this fashion. Do not write it as 3660. इसे ब्रेक करना आपको मुश्किल लगेगा. मेरे को यहाँ पर दो टर्म्स का सम चाहिए 1 एंड प्रोडक्ट ये होना चाहिए. तो यही देख के समझ आएगा 61 और 60 आर द टू टर्म्स. That makes our job very easy to break it. It is 61n minus 60n, right? Now you can take only n common here. It is 6n plus 61. And in this case, you can take 10 common and it becomes 6n plus 61 equals 0. So it clear cut gives me the value of n as 10 because the value in the bracket will generate a negative value of n, which is not possible. So if n is 10, let's focus on this area. It is m into sum of first 10 terms. So first 10 terms का sum क्या होगा? n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1, which is 9, into d, which is 4, shall be greater than 1830. So this 0 get cancelled out. 2 3s are 6, 2 2s are 4 get cancelled out. 9 2s are 18, 18 plus 3 is 21. So m comes out to be 183 upon 21 से बड़ा, right? So we just need to simplify this for the value. So orally इस चीज को आप observe कर सकते हो, right? So 21 into अगर आप 8 करोगे तो it is 168. So your answer is going to be more than 8 point something होगा. And question says smallest positive integer m such that it is being satisfied. So can I say m should be greater than 8, which comes out to be 9 and is the correct answer option. So usually students ask me that how you are able to solve entire paper in just 1 hour's time frame. All right, so I just tried to show you the same by keeping one thing in mind, that at the discussion level I tried to keep as less as possible and to show you how entire paper can be done in just 1 hour time frame. So if you observe the time for which I solved vis-a-vis like discussions that I did, a bit of discussions, not much in this particular session, will give you a very clear-cut idea about how entire section can be done within 1 hour time frame. Let it be DILR or let it be quant. So guys, MBA 2021 mock test marathon will give last push to your preparation. You will be getting 2 full-length mock tests for CAT per week, 3 sectional tests per week, 2 full-length mock tests for OMATs per month, and detailed video analysis of all mock and sectional tests will be given to you. You just need to use my code Serene10 to avail 10% off while taking admission in any batch or any program. India's biggest weekly scholarship test for CAT aspirants is conducted every Sunday at 12 p.m. and is called CAT Combat. So you can use my code Serene10 to enroll for free and you can win scholarship from a pool of 55 lakhs. So here is the list of awards that you will be getting on the right hand side of the screen. So do participate and try to win as much as you can. I am Ajay Serene. So my profile on Unacademy is by the name Ajay Kumar. I take special class on almost daily basis, and that is on DILR brainstorming. And DILR is one section wherein majority of the students struggle a lot. So I'm just trying to address that so that you can solve majority of the questions and develop an ability to solve almost every question of DILR. So do follow me on Unacademy's Learners app and watch all my videos so as to get better performance in exams to come. Do subscribe to the channel, like and share the video, and use my referral code Serene10 to avail 10% off on your next Unacademy subscription. Thank you guys. Thank you.